everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my Stampin' Up! Studio. I'm going to do another card in my series. When I say that, it's like you have to say the word twice. I'm going to do another card in my series of my cards using the designer series paper that's on sale this month. So before I do that, I'm going to remind you of a couple of different things. One is this catalog, the new mini catalog for July to December, but because of COVID, it starts in August. So it starts August 3rd. If you're my customer, you should have had it days now because I sent it out a couple of weeks ago. So you should already have this. You should be making your wish list. You should be marking your calendar for August 3rd and 4th because I will have a walkthrough video that posts on the morning of August 3rd on my YouTube channel. So I'll be showing you the things that I have pegged for fall and winter retreat. Winter retreat will be kind of a bonus retreat because my actual winter retreat is in January. But so I'll have a little it'll be a smudge in there like around Thanksgiving. So kind of a little bonus retreat. Celebration starts August 3rd as well. So all of the stuff in here is free. So that little thing will be on there. And then on August 3rd and 4th, I'll have my catalog kickoff specials. So you don't want to miss those because you'll get a couple of extra freebies if you purchase on those days. So if you don't have a demonstrator sending you one of those, and hopefully your demonstrator got yours out to you quickly, so you're making your lists too. But if you don't have somebody sending you one, let me know. I'd be happy to send you one. So that is up and coming. And then, like I said, the paper, there's a bunch of paper out of the annual catalog that's on sale. And then coinciding with every new catalog release, I do my most popular class. It's very close to being full. I'm hoping that I can stretch it to July 28th. That's the day that I will cut it off for sure. But my most popular classes are called Try It classes. And those are where we do, it's all online and it's usually 10 to 12 cards. This one is 10 projects, and each project is based around one of the new papers. So we'll get to all of the papers, unless there's one that we still haven't been able to order, the Blackberry paper that's in the holiday catalog. But all of them are based on a new paper, so you get to try them all. I cram as much paper as I can and make the cards still look good on the cards. And then they all have a new embellishment and a new ribbon. And then on some of the cards, you'll get a new punch. You'll get maybe a new die. They're all just kind of new and different, so you get to try it. And you'll get to see all of the papers. I'll show you kind of one. That's kind of how I'm going to do today's cards. You get a feel for what a Try It card might be like. You don't have to have a die cut machine. I send everything that's punched or dyed to you. You don't have to have any stamps. You just add sentiments at the end. So this would have been the Try It class, I think, for the January to June mini catalog that just passed. So I'm just going to kind of fly up through them fast because you also get a PDF that has all of the measurements that you can kind of keep. It's in book form and everything's just pre-cut for you. My husband and I work really hard. This is one of the ones where we were able to get every pattern of the paper on and had this cute little fold. So you can keep the little PDF, and then you're able to use the patterns on any future paper. But you can see there's hardly any stamping. If there is stamping, it's just words that I have put on to kind of give you a feel. Sometimes they have lots of fun folds. This one you can see is a little pop-up, or they're like little slots. I think this one has a pull-out. It's sometimes they go missing because, you know, it's been a minute since these cards have been made. So super fun. Always always a good class. That's why it's so popular. And the reason that it gets cut off is because you can see all of the little bits and bobs that we have to cut. And as it stands, the last time we did it, that was when we reached our limit because we spent 3 evenings in a row till 1 in the morning getting the packets done. So that was when my husband said, this is the absolute most you can do. So if it doesn't make it till July 28th with the absolute number that I can do, then the registration will just disappear. If you're on my email list, I will give you a heads up when we get to like 5 or 10. Members of my team do get all of my online classes always for free if you are signed up directly underneath me. They also have the opportunity to get this packet at no cost. So that's one of the big bonuses for being on my team. So you can sign up now and get that mailed to you as soon as they go out. And then we also Zoom together. So today I don't have the stamp set, so I'm gonna edit that so I can run over and get it. I am going to use this paper that is on sale. It's the Plentiful Plants. So I really like this side of the paper because it reminds me of the In Good Taste. And I call that the Home Depot pack. So this is kind of like the Home Depot with a little bit of nature mixed in. So you can use it all the time for all kinds of stuff. I really like this one. And this is one of my favorite patterns in the paper, and it's not on this card. So when you have it flipped this way, you can see there's just lots of neutrals. And then you flip it this way, again, some neutrals. I like this cement piece here. But if you don't want to have the stamp set, I am going to use the stamp set a lot on this card, but you wouldn't have to because you can just pull these pieces out, which we did do when we did the Try It class, because that's why we don't have to have the stamps. So many of our papers these days, you can cut this stuff out. If you have the dies, you can also use the dies and trim these out, but then you don't even need the stamps. So if you're like, I really like this, but you don't know how much I'd use it, just get the paper and then you'd be able to use it some, and it's not a forever long commitment because you don't have the stamps. Let me run and get the stamps. Okay, so here's the stamp set. We made this card at my in-person camp last week, so I haven't put them up. So it was still sitting where I need to put them up, but it's got some great words. I love the way that these ink, which you'll be able to see in a second. But here, this I used with the Christmas set. So this is the Christmas set that's in the annual catalog. And this is the same paper. So you don't have to use it with these, but this is kind of how the Home Depot aspect of it comes in. That I just pulled out this fence post looking wood. So let's get this all put up here and then we'll get going on this card. So I'm going to do a fun fold, and this would be one that would be similar how we would do in a Try It class. So I'm going to use the macrame folder. Here's all of the paper that you need, and you can see this is why it feels like a Try It. This is a fold that we often do, and this one I've switched up a little bit so it can be a little bit different, except there wouldn't be any stamping. But because this was a camp card, of course we did a lot of stamping. So this is just standard 8.5 by 11 cut in half, and so I folded this in half. And while my PDFs always give you measurements, if there is a way to do it without actually measuring, then I tell you that way because I'm not a fan of math. I use it when I have to, but if we don't have to, then we don't. So I folded the card in half, just regular, and then I'm folding the front panel in half again. So getting a nice good crease with my bone folder. And then we have this little strip here. I think it's 2 1/4 by 8.5. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to fold it in half. Get a good crease on it. And I'm going to fold the front back in half on it again. So we've got this. Now this is going to make a Z fold, and there's lots of ways that you can do this. This, because I wanted to do my paper a little bit different, I am mounting it different than often Z folds get mounted. So mine's going to be like this, but we're going to end up covering this part up. So this is going to be how you can display a lot of your paper. And I'm not going to stick mine together until I am ready to have it all stuck. So we have this piece here, and that's what I mean. I'm going to cover this piece up here. So because I want this big long brick piece here, and then I want to put all these little pieces along. So I'm going to do all of my stamping. So I just have a 1/4 sheet of white, and then this is going to be my background piece. So I've got the words that say thank you so much. I'm going to do Cajun Craze for those. So let's get the thank you up here. And then let's do, there's actually no black ink on this card at all, which is not something I do very often. I'm a fan of the black ink. I think it grounds your cards. So now we have thank you so very much. Just start moving those out of the way. And then it doesn't really matter what colors you do these in. I've just picked pot colors, terracotta colors, and we don't have terracotta tile as an ink color anymore. If you still have it, then by all means grab it. I don't use ink colors in my videos that you can't purchase, but we did just get rid of that color. It just retired. So if you have it, feel free to use it. So I'm going to do just jade. I have a big jade tree in my kitchen. And I have some fabulously large succulents at my house. One in my bathroom goes all the way literally from the ceiling, and it is now pooling on the floor. So I'm going to do this one as an ode to that one. It would actually have to go tumbling off my card if it was that. So now I've got those. Let's get cinnamon cider. And these may not be the same colors as what I did on my other card, because it doesn't matter. Just pick a pot color and pick some leaf colors. Now I'm going to go with shaded spruce. And we'll get these leaves. And then I'll do these in shaded spruce as well. And you can see, because this stamps a more solid image and this stamps that really pretty stippled color, even though those are both shaded spruce, they don't look like the same color. That's why I wasn't worried if I used a different color. So now let's get gray granite. And then we'll have a little cement pot for the next one. Here, and then I'm gonna do another just jade, but again, this one's gonna be stippled, so even though that is just jade, it'll look a little bit different. You could get more greens if you want, just for the lack of table space that I had at camp. I just chose to do these. Now I'm gonna use the macrame, and I'm going to mix my neutrals. Some people don't like to do that. I love to mix neutrals. I love the way that vanilla and white look together. So I have a long piece of white. I just need these two. I have extra paper because I have the leftovers from camp. So I'm gonna send these through, and you're gonna love this. If you don't have this, you're gonna need this folder, especially if you're my age. It kind of takes you back to brownies or Girl Scouts, or back in those days when you macrame'd. And right now you can buy it everywhere. You can buy this stuff to do it, or you can just go to Home Depot and buy it already done, and you can just relive it that way. But look how fun that is. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to show you just a couple of the things that I'm going to run through the dies. I'm gonna run all these through, because there are dies that cut all those out, but I'm not gonna make you watch that, because you don't really need to see that. So we have some fun shapes, and I'll just let you see the shapes, and then I'll just do the framelits. So I have, if I can pick them up. Okay, so I have some vanilla, and I'm gonna do this again, fun macrame holder. And then we've got some little greenery, and I'm going to put that on this piece of shimmer vellum that is in the soft succulent. And then we have a plant stand. Maybe it's here, I can pick them up a little bit better. And we're gonna do that in the gold foil. And then we have some little pots. There's actually two of these tiny little ones. I'm gonna just do one. They're hard to pick up out of here. So got those. Let's run these through. And then I'm gonna run all these through, and I'll fast forward this part of the video. Okay, so I've cut everything out, and as I took it out of the dies, I just kind of laid it on the panel that I wanted to put it on. As I created the card, it doesn't matter where your succulents go, you can put them wherever, but to just kind of help me know where I'm gonna put these. So let's start by doing our back. So let's open these up. You'll need to make sure everything's nice and creased well, and then that way it will open well. I'm going to use our Seal Plus. And here you can see that if you don't have the stamps, you can just flip your paper over and use one of these and cut the images out. So you don't need the stamps if you just want the paper. And you could recreate this card almost exactly without the stamps. And in fact, you could just get the dies and not get the stamps, and then you could have some of these pretty, the dies that do the, like the, oh, I can't think of the word, the macrame holders and the plant stands. Not a word that I use very often these days. So I'm gonna put this on. Now, because I've stamped these, I know where I can put these. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive here. And the Seal Plus holds the little Z-fold handle in here really well. So I've got that on there. So let's put this on. And then I have cut these. And I cut this a little bit wider than normal because I liked being able to see all of this. A lot of times these are cut 2 1/4, and then these are cut 2. Mine's a little bit wider. But you can do it however, and then you just want a little bit of a border. So when you do a Try It class, all of this is cut. You're just doing the folding, and all of this stuff would be done. That's why it takes a lot of work. So then if you watched my video, this video, it's a sneak peek, and this is one of the Christmas sets that's coming up in the new holiday catalog. So I used the cork paper, and then this is one of the Christmas stocking sets. But when I ran this piece of cork paper through, I was left with all of these fun little cork pieces that popped out. Now, if you're my age and you did macrame in the 70s, you probably, well, your mom probably had some cork pieces around the house that were decorations. So when I saw this, these are just laying on my table, then I thought, well, these were some fun little accents that go really well with the succulents and the macrame. So I'm just gonna take one of these cork pieces, and I wanted you to know that's where I got them. And the cork paper, super cool. It's paper on one side, but it really is cork, and it has all the little cork feel on the other side. So you'll wanna get that when the holiday catalog comes out. If you're in the Try It class, it will be, you'll get a piece of it somewhere along the line. I'm gonna take this little flower, a succulent here. Every little panel is going to have some kind of a little plant. And this guy here. And then up here, now that I know where this is going to be, I can add this one. So we're just kind of playing along and putting this. I'm not pressing anything hard because the Seal Plus is permanent. And see, I do want to move this over a little bit. I was afraid that maybe that was, as soon as you push hard, it's permanent. There we go. But if you don't push hard until you started, now we're good. So I'm going to fold this over. Make sure that's going to go right. Add this little panel here. Come on. And for this one, I'll just add so now we've got those two. And I'm gonna flip this over. And this panel right here, I'm just gonna let the macrame be the beautiful part for it. So I'm just gonna add my macrame here. I'm gonna try to keep these lines at the top even. And then lay this piece here. And this macrame here. And it's gonna go onto this piece a little bit, but that's okay because this is going to go here. So now that all of this is on, I might need to take my bone folder and just make sure everything's nice and crisp again, because now it's got some extra paper. And this will make sure everything folds up nicely. So now on this one, you can see that's gonna go. It's a little bit longer. I am going to put my adhesive on this piece and then fold that over. And you can see it lines up perfectly, and now everything will open perfectly and all the creases are nice and flat. Now I'm going to put my adhesive on here to hold this together, but I'm not putting any adhesive up here just yet because I want to be able to lift that up and put my ribbon there, or my cord. I'm going to line that up to that piece. Now you can see I can still lift this up, and then I'll glue that at the end. I'm going to take my little plant stand. Stick that there. My little planter. And then this one can go off the top of the paper because it's vellum and it looks pretty on both sides. And now we've got to do our pot over here. So I'm going to start with my pot. And then I'm going to add my 2 things of my jade. So you can kind of do it however you want to get that in there. And then I'm just going to add, it doesn't take much to hold this on here, especially if you're using the Seal Plus. And the nice thing about the Seal Plus is that it comes off in like little strips. So you can see that it comes off and then you can just fold those over. And as long as you have 2, the Seal Plus is so strong that it's going to hold those. So just fold those over. Nothing hangs out. Then I'm going to take the vanilla colored twine from the Basic Essentials. You don't need a ton of it. Whoops. And just put it right through the little loop. Just kind of hold it like that. And then put this right to where it goes. You could send this through the macrame holder if you want. It does add a little bit of texture. But there was already so much going on this card, I didn't feel like it needed it. Then just hold this, pick this up. Now I'm going to add my adhesive right here. And then just kind of bend that under there. It doesn't have to be straight or perfect because it's hanging from the ceiling. 70s style. And then that will hold that down. Then one more last little touch. We used the pearls at camp because they are not on back order. For this one, I'm going to use the in color. I don't even think these are the in color jewels. I think these are from a leftover paper pumpkin, but you could use in color jewels. You can use the pearls. These will show up on camera a little bit better than the pearls. But I do think these might be from a leftover paper pumpkin. Just gonna add a little bit. There's nothing that makes me happier than when my succulents flower, because sometimes you don't know they're gonna do it. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, my succulents have some flowers. So let's put a whole bunch on here because I'm not even sure what these are. When I pulled them out, I thought they were they may be the freesia in color jewels. They keep going on back order, so I don't use them because I don't want you to be disappointed that you can't get them. But they'll be back soon because they've been on back order long enough again. But look how fun that is. So very similar to what we would do at a try it class, except there would be no stamping. We would, if this had been a try it class, we would have cut the stuff out. And I would have pre-done one of these things. You wouldn't have gotten 2 because like I said, there's a lot of cutting and punching and die cutting and embossing. You usually get one that's run through a folder, a couple of punches and a couple of die cuts, and then all of the paper. So the fussy cutting of paper you would do yourself. Here's my other one. It looks almost the same except the pearls, and the pearls are just as pretty. So there you go. I do expect, I hope, cross my fingers, that we can get to July 28th with registration. it will fill for sure. And I do keep a few packets open for all of those of you that will join my team when celebration starts, because I know some of you can join now and you still get, if you join now, you can put the holiday pre-order stuff in your kit. You can put sale paper in your starter kit, so you don't have to wait for celebration to join. But I know there's a few of you that are waiting till celebration starts so you can get the celebration special and be part of my team then. So I do a few. But if those are gone and you join later in the month, then you'll just have to wait for the next Try It class. You can join us and do your own stuff, but I will have a few packets set aside for my new team members. But join us. It's a great class. You will have fun. You'll get to try it all, and then you'll see what you want to buy. Everybody have a great day, and I will do a couple of more of the designer series paper things, and then I'm going to start going on with some more new catalog stuff, so you can start seeing what's coming, and as I let you know what my upcoming online classes are. Everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you back here later. Bye.